Welcome back to the Friday show brought to you by Woodbine, where it is closing weekend of the 2023 live race meeting. Everything goes. Mandatory payouts on Sunday for all the pick races, pick 5, 6, whatever. And we would like to thank Woodbine for their sponsorship throughout the season. And by the way, this is our final Friday show of 2023 as well. We'll be back early next year. Joined by Joe Nevills, Bloodstock editor of the Paulick Report. And we have a special edition of the Friday show this week. You know, we're a forward-looking organization. And, you know, we could do a year in review kind of thing, but we're going to look ahead. And we're actually getting a little help from somewhere with predictions for what we think, someone thinks, will happen in 2024. And we have pulled out all the stops, haven't we, Joe?
Yes, I have actually recently been to a magic shop and I acquired a magical hat of predictions. And Apricot is here to help as well. He helped me pick out the magical hat of predictions. Believe it or not, people, I actually own more than one hat. It's true. You wouldn't think to know it from watching the show, but I own more than one hat now. I've asked this thing for responses, predictions for what's going to happen in 2024. It came with a magic wand, so I'm going to tap the thing. We're going to come up with some predictions, and let's see what it comes up with here.
Well, before we do that, let me just say too that the predictions are one thing, but whether or not they come true is something else again. And we are going to rely on divine intervention. Let's face it, divine intervention happens all the time. How else can you explain Rick Dutrow coming back after being on the sidelines for 10 years and winning the Breeders' Cup Classic? So, the Magic 8 Ball, it's been a tried and true predictor of the future. So this will decide whether or not our predictions will come true.
Okay, we've got double confirmation of magic here for predictions. So this can't go wrong. This can't go wrong.
Well, it could, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right, so I've got the hat here. We're going to do a little bit of magic here. I've got some magic words I was instructed to say with each of these, so hopefully this turns into something useful here. So alakazoo, alakazam. Let's see what we have in the predictions. Okay, this is very exciting. Mike Rapoli, commissioner of the National Thoroughbred Alliance, names New York Times writer Joe Drape to the NTA's Director of Communications.
Wow.
In 2024.
Let's see what the 8 Ball says on this one.
This is
yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Congratulations, Joe and Mike.
I know. That's, there are so many long-running beefs in horse racing. You love to see people shake hands and make up.
I think it's a marriage made in heaven.
It is.
Mike and they certainly know each other.
They certainly do. They're very familiar with each other on social media. That's for sure.
Yeah, they are. Is that the only one we have in the magic hat?
Well, I bought the expanded package, so we actually have quite a few more. So okay. we're just going to keep going until this hat runs out.
Because we could just go home after that one.
We could. There's nothing like starting fast and calling it a day. That's many stud careers are built on that. So let's go on to the next one here. Got my magic wand here and the magic words. Zenyatta Balame. We have.
That was magic.
The transfer portal becomes available for horses to move to the trainer of their choice. And overnight, Graham Motion has the biggest stable in the country in 2024.
Let's see what the magic 8 Ball says. Ask again later.
It
seems logical. Yeah, but
it makes sense. The transfer portal.
This thing doesn't lie.
The transfer portal is the big thing in college sports right now. Everyone's sort of going with the situation that fits them. Graham Motion is certainly a reliable horseman. And I think if the horses have their say, you'd see a lot of them going that way.
I think there's going to be some transfers made next spring for sure out on the West Coast with a trainer that's won a few derbies in the past.
Yeah, probably, but that's more on the owners than the horses themselves.
Yeah, that's right. The horses can't vote on that.
Right. All right. We ready for the next one?
Why not?
All right. Let me consult the magic words here, and there we go with the antics. Okay, go into the hat, and our prediction is Rick Dawson buys a quarter horse to serve as a rabbit for Rich Strike, but the plans go awry when the rabbit beats the Derby winner in the Whitney in 2024.
Okay, what does the Magic 8 Ball say? Don't count on it.
Well,
I'm afraid that somebody's going to spoil this by checking the identification of the rabbit and find out it's a quarter horse. And of course, quarter horses are not eligible to run in the thoroughbred races, especially the Whitney. That's too bad.
Yeah, it really is. I'm sure we'd get a detailed description of it on Rick's Facebook. It seems like he's pretty good at keeping people updated on the decisions of the saga of Rich Strike, no matter what way they swing one day or the next.
Maybe he can find a real rabbit. I don't know out there.
Yeah. Listen, Ken Ramsey was successful with rabbits for years. I'm surprised more people don't do that. It just seems like it's good strategy if they're allowed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that happens in Europe and just about every big race, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Bullet Train was Frankel's go-to guy for a long time and worked out well for both of them.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing so good. Yeah, we're not doing so good.
From the rabbit. By the way, there's no rabbit in your hat, is there?
There is. I've looked. I have not found a rabbit yet, but that's the thing with magic. You never quite know what you're going to get out of this hat. So keep an eye out for that rabbit. But for now, the next magic words, Songbird won the photo. Okay. Next prediction. Okay. A Japanese horse finally wins the Kentucky Derby. And industry pressure to end the Japanese road to the Derby series will be at a fever pitch before the horse is cooled out in 2024.
All right, let's see what the Magic 8 Ball says. Reply hazy. Try again.
I think you need to fix the reception on your Magic 8 Ball, Ray. It's
hard to read. I mean, it really is.
It really
hazy.
is.
It's quite hazy. I mean, that's an interesting one, but the predictor seems to think that we want them here. We just don't want them to win.
Yes, exactly. Sort of like how we wanted synthetic surfaces until we got them and the Europeans came over and ate our lunch in the Breeders' Cup. And all of a sudden, California doesn't have synthetic surfaces anymore. Keeneland doesn't have synthetic surfaces anymore. And they just sort of fizzled out for about a decade. I'm noticing a pattern. Anyway, let's go to the next prediction here. Let's see how much magic we got left in the hat here. Magic words, raising the bar. Okay. We've got, in a surprise turn of events, a judge finally has enough of the Medina Spirit appeal saga and just gives the 2021 Kentucky Derby win to Soup and Sandwich. Who doesn't love Soup and Sandwich?
I do. I just, he was the second. He finished second, didn't he, that day?
He
finished second. He said he finished. Did he finish?
Yes, I think he was last, but he finished.
He did finish. Okay.
Yes, he did finish.
Let's see what the Magic 8 Ball has to say about Soup and Sandwich becoming a Derby winner. Most likely.
Listen, congratulations to Live Oak Plantation. Congratulations to Mark Cassie. Yes. It was a long, hard battle, but you guys deserve it.
Yeah, it's that seemed like it was years ago, but it was only years ago, right?
Yeah. It's only 2 years ago, nearly 3, but still, yeah, we've all grown and aged and gotten very tired.
It doesn't seem like yesterday. This is like the presidential campaign. It just seems to go on and on and on and on.
See, but with the presidential campaign, there is an election day. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I truly don't know where the light at the end of the tunnel is with this.
The Supreme Court.
Yeah.
They'll decide.
Like any great race outcome should be decided by the Supreme Court. All right, let's go on to the next bit of magic here. Let's see what our magic words are here. Abundance of caution. Okay. With an abundance of caution, our prediction.
Those are magical.
Yes. With an abundance of caution, our next prediction is the Breeders' Cup introduces a new race, a marathon from the racetrack to the nearest stallion barn.
Okay, let's see what the Magic 8 Ball says.
2024.
It is certain. It's happening.
This is happening, baby.
You can count on it.
I mean, you've been able to count on it for years now. Just a straight sprint from the racetrack to the breeding shed. And a lot of years they have it at Keeneland where it's just, you could practically walk the horses to the stud barn. That would be a sprint. That would not be a marathon.
That's not really a prediction. I mean, I'm a little disappointed in the magic hat there. That's restating the past, like you said.
Yeah, listen, I got it on sale. It was a Christmas discount. Like, everybody's running deals right now to get things sold.
I mean, you know how much this thing cost?
How much that thing cost?
It's a little embarrassing to even. I mean, 8 balls, I thought they were expensive. Never mind. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the magic hat here. We're gonna do the magic words of takeout. Okay, takeout.
That could be a game changer.
That could potentially be a game changer.
Game changer. We got so many game changers right now.
We really do. The game just is in a constant state of change. And the next predicted game changer in 2024. Prominent trainers begin petitioning the federal government to release Jason Service and Jorge Navarro from prison because they're good guys and they've done enough time and they've learned their lesson in 2024.
I don't know. This is the magic 8 ball, and this one says you may rely on it. Once again, this is a positive 8 ball. This is not very negative.
Yeah, that's good. We need more positivity in this business, less negativity.
You're right. We have too many negative 8 balls in this game.
We really do. We need,
but
positive.
The negative 8 balls drive the clicks, as we know.
They really do. They really do. And, a lot of people would consider it a positive story if Service and Navarro were let out of jail early and just came back to the comeback trail. And, after a long time away, won a big race like the Breeders' Cup Classic.
That would be cool. That would be so cool.
Just a feel-good story. Gets you right here.
Yeah, good news.
Well, let's see if we got any more feel-good stories in this magic hat
are
here.
About done? I mean, there are more?
Listen, you get your money's worth out of this magic hat. It wasn't much money, but you get your money's worth.
That last one, I'm sorry, but that last one kind of just took the wind out of my sails. I mean, geez.
I mean, yeah, listen, magic is just magic. It's not necessarily good or bad. Yeah, it's true. Just predictions are what predictions are. All right, let's see what the next prediction is with the magic words environmental contamination. Okay. Environmental contamination gives us the prediction. A new 20-stable syndicate buys a sale topper and creates mass chaos when a representative signs the ticket under the pseudonym Taylor Swift in 2024.
Let's see what the magic 8 ball says on that one. Very non-committal. It's a concentrate and ask again.
Okay.
I mean,
is Taylor Swift getting into horse racing?
I can ask again. Let's see.
I was going to say, listen, I just concentrated. I waved the magic wand. We need something here.
Yeah. My sources say no, it says.
Listen, the Kansas City Chiefs could probably give her more money or more exposure than anything horse racing could, honestly. And love is the most important thing.
She will be at the Derby though, with that guy from the Chiefs.
Travis Kelce. Yes.
Yeah. She'll be at the Derby.
That makes sense. That would be a logical spot for them.
Goes to the Derby,
yeah. Me. Well. All right. I think we've got a little bit of magic left in this hat here. Let's see what else we can do here. A filly in the Belmont. Okay. Filly in the Belmont gives us. Oh boy. Okay. Churchill Downs opts for an AstroTurf surface for all of its grass races.
So could you repeat?
Yeah, that's, magic, it's messing with my head. Sometimes magic will get to you. Churchill Downs opts for an AstroTurf surface for all of its grass races in 2024.
I don't know what the magic 8 ball is going to say, but all I can say is leave it to horse racing to adopt something that was new 60 years ago.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. Well, let's see what it says. It is decidedly so. It is going to happen. Boy. It is going to happen.
Well,
the times of the races are going to be blazing fast. That's the good news.
Yeah, it's going to be a literal drag strip.
The bad news. So.
Yeah, I remember I played on some AstroTurf, like the honest, like golf court, like mini golf course surface AstroTurf in high school, and everybody got hurt. Like, you want to talk about breakdown rates,
No,
concussions,
I don't want
twisted
to.
ankles. Like, no, we don't talk about that here.
But at least it's green.
Yes.
And it won't. I don't think it'll slip as much as the current turf course has slipped.
Yeah.
And
Maintenance should be pretty low.
there are some advantages to it. So I can see why the Magic 8 Ball went for the affirmative on that one.
And during the off season, you could play Pop Warner football on it.
That is true.
Yeah. All right. I'm feeling the Magic fade a little bit here. I think I've only got one more prediction. So
that's just too bad.
I know. Let's see how this goes here. Hissa, not Hissa. Okay. A little bit of Magic here for our final prediction. Duracell announces sponsorship of a new graded stakes race for quarter horses in 2024.
Before, the Eveready was the sponsor of the Epsom Derby back the late 80s and early 90s, I think. The Eveready Epsom Derby. So
Yikes.
I don't know what the Magic 8 Ball is going to say, but that was the sponsorship back then, and the Magic 8 Ball says, cannot predict now.
Doesn't
There's so much
sponsorships
uncertainty with sponsorships,
There really is. They can come and go. Duracell actually sponsored several jockeys in this year's Kentucky Derby, which I thought was, listen, I can't fault people for getting that paper. That's a big opportunity to make money, but just a battery company sponsoring jockeys is a little, I don't know.
Quarter horse racing, though, could use a little jolt, don't you think?
Oh, God. That's one way to put it. Yes. A jolt, a little spark.
Yeah. They need a little buzz, it's been a long year for quarter horse racing. It's been a long.
It has. There's just been a battery of allegations toward, artificial stimulation in the quarter horse racing this year.
Well, it's been a long year for quarter horse racing. It's been a longer year for the Friday show.
It really has.
And barring any further predictions from the Magic Hat and answers from the Magic 8 Ball, that's going to do it for the Friday show this week and for 2023. We really appreciate sticking with us. We appreciate Woodbine sponsorship. To all the guests that joined us throughout the year, thank you very much. And we'll see you early next year in 2024. And it'll be a while, but we'll see if these predictions come true or not.
We'll see what happens.
All right. We'll see you in 2024.
Support award-winning independent horse industry journalism and become a Paulick Report Insider on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, insiders get access to exclusive Q&As with Paulick Report staff, insight behind our editorial process, exclusive opinions and on-site analysis, Paulick Report merch, and more. This is not a paywall. The website you know and love will always be the same. But if you want more, and you want to make our coverage even better, visit patreon.com/Paulick Report and become a Paulick Report Insider today.